In English, there's this phrase, living in a van down by the river, which used to mean hitting rock bottom, scraping by in a life that nobody desires as you try to make ends meet. But today, social media glorifies van life. Millions of people have probably bought a van because they aspire to have this exact lifestyle. Ask me how I know. We've been living and traveling in this van for 3 years now, and lately I've been having a really hard time with van life. So today we're going to show you the dark side of van life and why it sometimes sucks. And honestly, this one might ruffle some feathers. So we've got to hit the road now, but every morning before we can even leave our park up, I think the biggest challenge about living in a van when you first get into it is obviously the space. It's a really small space to live in full time, to travel in, eat, sleep, work, all that stuff. Going to the toilet. I once heard someone say on Instagram that living in a van is kind of like you're always shitting in your kitchen. I don't fully support it, but like it's really close. All the functions are really close to one another.
What's wrong with these roads here? This road is one big pothole.
I think for most people when they get into this lifestyle, they mainly focus on all the freedom it's going to give them. I know for us when we bought our van, I wasn't really aware of just how much time you would end up spending in this small space because you think, well, I'm buying it to go traveling. Like, can you imagine we're actually driving through South America right now, or in like this small little town where most tourists don't get to go, but at the same time, especially when you live in a van like us long term, it can start to weigh on you a little bit.
Because we work so many hours of freelance work to be able to pay for this trip, I sometimes feel like trapped a bit inside the van. Like, yeah, it's not like a great place to spend many hours working. Hola. Gracias.
Gracias.
25 cents for a coffee.
One of the things that has been the hardest for us and that has had major impact on how difficult of a time I personally have been having with van life lately, the weather. Here in Colombia, it is super hot. It's 35 degrees Celsius, and that's on a good day. It goes all the way to 40 degrees. And when you live in a van without any AC in the back, it gets really sweaty. You can't get anything done in that heat. You get unwanted smells in the van from like your trash that sort of starts to decompose on you a little bit. Or if it's really cold, you have to take measures to stop your pipes from freezing, etc. Just the way the weather impacts you in a van is completely different from if you're in a house. Fortunately, here in Colombia, that is also one of the things we can try to get some control over. So today we're gonna drive up into the mountains in hopes of finding like slightly more temperate weather. I do have to say that those thunder clouds over there in the distance are not looking very promising. Oh my god, look at that dog! Oh, he's adorable!
Hola, ¿qué es eso?
Queso con bocadillo de quesadilla.
Es dulce. Gracias. Está bien. Gracias.
Gracias.
Alright, bought some roadside cheese snack. Like a block of cheese with something sweet. Let's just try it. Actually pretty good. Very sugary. It goes well together with the cheese.
Panaderia. Dos? A ball of coconut dough. Kind of like a fritter with coconut filling.
Oh. What the hell is this? Alright, we're now driving into the city of Bucaramanga. Van life in the city isn't really my favorite. It is pretty difficult because there's no campsites. You kind of have to find a place to park up where you're not bothering anyone, where it's not too noisy and all that stuff. So it's always a little bit of a hassle. But the reason we have to go into the city is because we have a bunch of problems pop up in the last few weeks that we really need to get solved. I feel like we're deep in the hood of Colombia now, though. This neighborhood looks dodgy. Dodgy would be a nice way to describe it. We're now in the city center.
This already looks a lot better since we're looking for a place to park for the night.
Gonna do another lap around the block. Scope the place out.
You found this on iOverlander, right?
Yeah, a bunch of people have stayed here in the past in this area. So.
In North America, Central America, South America, you can just look for spots to park overnight on iOverlander. And in Europe, it's Park 4 Night. Lifesavers, those apps. So we have this spot at the park here. I don't know, it's a little bit of a busy intersection, but the park looks neat and safe.
So what did the copper say?
She said it's not allowed. And I said, why? She said, just because.
There aren't really any other spots here, so.
At least on the bright side, we've already escaped the heat.
That's good. Tackle one problem at a time. We'll need to find another spot to park up because we're not allowed to stay here. And there's another spot marked on iOverlander, but the last review says it's full of drugs and prostitutes. Which is not what we're looking for.
And we're kind of in a crunch here because it's gonna get dark in about 2 hours.
Looks like a nice neighborhood though.
We're gonna stick out like a sore thumb, I think. Got some live entertainment here. Gracias, gracias. That's not big enough for us.
It's proving more difficult than I thought. Usually we can find a place somewhere, but there's not many places listed on iOverlander. It's not a city we know. It's Colombia. Alright, I think I'm gonna have to do a little bit of research online to maybe find a spot where we can go. But we actually have another problem that we need to solve, is that we ran out of propane gas for our stove, so we can't cook anymore at the moment. We stopped at a few places where they can fill gas bottles, but either they refused to fill gas bottles and only swap them, but we have a different one, or they couldn't fill our gas bottle.
Even the most mundane things that you would never ever even have to think about if you live in a house take so much time when you decide to go and live in a van. For example, something simple, wanting to take a shower. If you live in a house, you just walk into your bathroom, turn on a shower, and you go and have a shower. If you live in a van, you have to think, oh, do I still have fresh water in my fresh water tank? And is my gray water tank full, or can I still have a shower? And do I have enough solar power to turn on the water heater so I can have a warm shower?
Every time you need something more than just groceries, you're basically in a whole new city, even country, where you don't know how things work, where you don't know which store stocks which product. You need to look for just basically everything.
Currently in the Colombian version of Home Depot. Let's see if we can find that propane. Oh wow, this is actually quite an impressive store. Camping supplies. Oh yes, yes.
Ooh, you got the goodies.
I sure diddly do. I also almost bought a lamp.
You what?
It was really pretty, but then I realized we have no room for lamps.
This is a truck stop. How are we not allowed to park here? Come on, third time's a charm.
Wow, isn't it just the most beautiful view you've ever seen?
Yeah. Is it a wild flock of trucks?
So lately we've also been having our fair share of bad luck with the van. Our bed broke. There was suddenly this giant crack in it. So we had to fix that on the fly. Our Starlink also broke. If you don't know what Starlink is, it's basically Elon Musk's internet satellite dish that you can just bring with you anywhere in the world, and you can go online no matter where you are, even if there is zero cell phone reception. We use it a lot, and I kind of snapped the cable in half.
The cable was 45 feet long, and now we have a piece that's this long, Kim.
The day after tomorrow, we're gonna start our big road trip across Colombia. We're gonna start finally driving across South America to get all the way down to Argentina, and we're super excited. But also, there are a lot of places in South America where there's really crappy cell phone reception. Without the Starlink, we can't upload YouTube videos, we can't work, we can't contact anyone if anything goes wrong. How are you gonna get the new cable delivered, especially here in Colombia? It's really important that we get this done tomorrow.
I'm making some carrots. I've got a whole bag of beef here. So I'm gonna make the carrots, maybe like them like nice and spicy with some cumin and paprika powder. And then make some beef with it. Just gonna keep it simple, you know.
I'm having a look at the route for our big road trip across Colombia, which I think is gonna be amazing. Like, if you've seen the last few videos of Colombia, you'll know this country is incredible. We want to go all the way from where we are now towards the very south, and that's basically the best part of Colombia. And we're gonna make one big video about it, really make like a longer video of the entire road trip to give you guys the full experience. But in between that, we're not gonna make you wait 2 weeks for the next video. We're also going to post a video telling you our favorite spots to travel in Mexico. You guys really love our top 10 places you should visit in Costa Rica. We got so much great feedback on that. And then in the meantime, we kind of have something to hold you over until we post our little road trip. Oh, I'm so excited about this. But like I said, the road trip is currently hanging on by a thread if we don't find that Starlink cable tomorrow. And this is a massive van life hack, by the way. Plastic plates. I approve.
Kim Ramsey approved.
Good morning. Welcome back.
Can't get in on my side. Just to crawl in.
I know this video is about why van life sucks, but I also think it's important to share that we don't hate it. Sure, we spent the whole morning freelancing, and right now I'd rather not spend my time chasing down that Starlink cable or new camera gear, because we're having some issues with our camera as well. If you, like most people, live in a house, and whenever stuff breaks in your house, you can just order a new item off Amazon Prime. And it magically shows up the next day at your doorstep. Please do take a moment next time that happens to consider how special that actually is and how super convenient, because when you live in a van, it ain't like that. It's a lot harder to replace things when they break. I did extensive Googling and found a random dude on Facebook.
That's a good way of telling it, yeah. A random dude on Facebook. We have to find some place here where we can pick up a cable.
This? But despite the things we've mentioned in this video so far, we do still generally enjoy van life and try to keep a positive attitude. I have got it. I got it from Elon Musk himself. Like the Colombian version, Elio Muscador. We have the cable! I'm gonna try my hardest not to snap this one in two. By the time we were done raiding our bank accounts to replace various things in the van and had some food, we had to drive back out of the city of Bucaramanga in the dark to get to the truck stop. Well, I'll be damned.
I think living in a van for, how long have we been living in a van? 3 years, 3 years and a half, has taught us so much, and especially patience and dealing with difficult situations. Now, instead of going into the pit of despair and wallowing our self-pity, which we used to do.
If you saw the earlier van life videos, we had a bunch of problems with the car. Sometimes we were broken down in parking lots at mechanic
we had
shops.
mental breakdowns about it as well. So what it taught us was, like, instead of going like deep into your whatever feeling mindset and getting stuck in that, it's better just to make the best out of it and just enjoy whatever life brings you.
And a lot of times it is really sunshine and rainbows. Don't get us wrong, if you've seen our other videos you will know that as well. It has allowed us to have pretty much an incredible life overall, with a lot of freedom and a lot of opportunity.
We love van life.
What we really got into van life for, why we were driving from Alaska to Argentina, is to have the adventure of a lifetime, to see different cultures, to do incredible activities, see incredible landscapes.
Eat at McDonald's.
Eat at McDonald's, all that stuff. And that is exactly what we're going to be doing in Colombia in the next video. Bye-bye.
Now can we get out of the van and into the hotel?
Oh my god, it's still recording.